This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the place to go for all of your website needs. Hey everybody, I'm Hugh Brownstone for Three Blind Men and an Elephant. And before I do anything else, I just want to take a moment to thank all of our associate producers over at Patreon. You guys are a big reason why we have the latitude to do some of the things we love most, like interviewing legendary photographers. And for that, guys, Claudia and I thank you once again. Truly. If anyone else out there would like to join us over at Patreon, I'll put a link down in the show notes below. Anyway, because I have so little time, we fly out in less than 2 weeks for our first ever Streets of London workshop. I'll put a link down in the show notes below for that because we still have space. I'll just cut to the chase. Sigma's I-series lens lineup, as I just implied, is great. Pretty much perfect for street and travel. It is arguably the sweet spot in Sigma's entire mirrorless prime lens catalog for performance, size, and value. Arguably the sweet spot in the entire L-Mount Alliance lens ecosystem. Possibly even Sony's E-mount lens ecosystem, which is much, much bigger, and both the $639 50f2 and $599 17f4 lenses announced this morning, available in Leica L and Sony E-mount later this month, are wonderful additions to the line. I think it fair to say that for what I consider to be the focal length to have when you can have only one, differences in optical performance among the 350-gram 50 f2, Sigma's own 660-gram $849 51.4 art, and Sony's $1,300 516-gram split the baby 51.4 G Master won't be noticeable to 99% of us 99% of the time at anything less than stupidly high magnification pixel peeping, or viewing ginormous prints at closer than normal distances, or purposely cropping the crap out of images as an alternative to carrying more glass. I certainly relate to two of the three. Even under those circumstances, optical differences pretty much disappear by f5.6 or f8 altogether, unless that extra bit of depth of field shallowness is critical to the composition, or the lowest ISO possible in terrible light is required. The 50f2, however, does not have a linear focus motor. The 17f4 is an extremely small and light, uber-wide, rectilinear wide-angle lens, just about the perfect answer to a gap in my own lens inventory for urban landscape that I have steadfastly refused to plug with a much bigger, much more expensive Holy Trinity wide-angle zoom. Think, for example, the twice the price, twice the weight, $1,100 500-gram Panasonic Lumix 16-35 f4S Pro, or the almost 4 times the price, more than twice the weight at $2,200 and 600 grams Sony 16-35 2.8 G Master. Both are complete overkill for what I do. But I loved what the 17f4 allowed me to capture and how it allowed me to capture it when rotating the camera for vertical framing. Its small size, lightweight, lovely image quality, nice price, and deeper depth of field at maximum aperture being far more important to me than a faster maximum aperture with little practical difference in image quality between f5.6 and f8, and with no need, as far as I'm concerned, to have every focal length in between. I can use the sensor for that. In fact, I don't care that I-series lenses aren't Sigma's fastest or highest performance art series lenses. I don't care that they aren't Sony's G Masters. I don't care that they aren't Leica's best in the business, but nosebleed expensive and significantly bigger and heavier autofocusing aposummicron SL primes used not for the M series but for the SL series. And I'm fine that within the L-mount alliance, they do have competition from Panasonic's $998 18mm f1.8 and $448 50mm f1.8 S's. Because in the real world, where size, weight, and feel in hand on the street, and impact on your wallet at home matter more for, say it with me now, 99% of us 99% of the time, these lenses pretty much reign supreme, their industrial design making them downright endearing. As far as I'm concerned, the only drawback to the I series, in fact, most lenses that aren't the Apo Summicron line, is more chromatic aberration wide open than I'd like, even a stop or two down. More comparisons. In near minimum focus distance testing downstairs in the BAT studio, mounted to a 47.5 megapixel S1R, which was right in front of me a minute ago, and viewed at stupid high magnification, pixel shifted, I'm talking up to 1600% wide open, the Sigma 50 f2 actually exceeded, from a clinical image quality perspective, my own 5th generation manual focus, but legendary Leica Summicron M50 f2. Although, stopped down to f5.6, the nod for clinical sharpness actually switched back to the Summicron, interestingly enough, not at the center, but at the edges. Compared to their Panasonic Lumix counterparts, both of which we also have in-house at the moment, so also tested downstairs, the Sigmas were sharper and better corrected wide open and stopped down. Except at minimum focus distance. But the Sigmas ceded focus breathing control to the Lumix 1.8s for video. No newsflash there. But the real kicker, although yeah, sure, this is not an apples-to-apples comparison, Sony's second generation $2,300, 695 gram, 24 to 72.8 G Master zoom versus Sigma's 639, 350 gram, 50f2 DGDN prime is that the G Master, mounted to our Sony a7R5 and set to 50 millimeters, again at or near minimum focusing distance downstairs in the BAT studio, which, once more with feeling, is not a perfect proxy for real-world performance at all, but it's what I can replicate month after month. Acknowledging that the a7R5 has a 13 megapixel advantage over the Lumix S1R we used when shooting the Sigma and all the other primes we had, because we had L-mount loaners and an M2L adapter, because that's what I shoot with. Although, as I alluded to a moment ago, I tried to equalize this by shooting the S1R in pixel shift mode. Okay, I would have compared pixel shift to pixel shift images if I'd been able to figure it out on the Sony with their imaging edge software, but I failed. Don't get me started. Panasonic just does it in body. I think I'm pretty good at figuring out what's sensor resolution and what is lens performance. Well, with all that, and yet again stupidly high magnification, the Sony Zoom was as good or better in the center, absolutely better in the corners at 50 millimeters at f2.8 than the Sigma, the Panasonic, the Summicron, and the manual focus Voigtlander Apo-Lanthar 50 f2 primes we had on hand, even if all were fabulous by the time they were stopped down to f5.6. But the zoom better than the primes at f2.8. This leaves me stunned, really, even if, how's this for a kick in the head? I'm not surprised. Are we actually at the point when we can get better image quality, have greater flexibility, enjoy greater agility on the street or when traveling, possibly with less total weight? The prime will always be lighter on the camera. Possibly in a smaller total package, at a price much closer than one might imagine, then continuing with accessibly priced, moderately fast primes. Yeah, this is a bigger story, a longer conversation. Not everyone will have the same answer, and now is really not the time to have that conversation, but I wanted to share with you, as I just said, what I've learned. It's really got me cogitating. But for now, I'll circle back to the reason why you clicked on this video in the first place, and I'll wrap it up this way. We're nearly at the end. Sigma's 50 f2 and 17 f4 full-frame I-series lenses in Leica L and Sony E-mount are great lenses in the real world for 99% of us, 99% of the time. An optimal blend of what I'll call the 3 Ps: performance, price, and personality. They are small, light, unobtrusive, a joy in the hand, beautiful to behold, well-built, optically performant, joining what I consider to be the most persuasive lens line for most of us in the business when considering Leica L or Sony E-mount. The 17 in particular worked especially well for me for urban landscape, and it is on my list, but things are a little more complicated when it comes to the 50. I have 2 50s for my Leica M11, but none for my Leica SL2, which nonetheless is well served by an Apo Summicron 35 f2 and 3 Sigma I-series lenses that I own, the 24 3.5, the 65 f2, and the 90 f2.8. I also have the 85 1.4 DGD-N Art when I want to go shallower. But if I wanted to travel lighter with only one lens, I'd probably pick the Sigma for my Leica. If I were to buy a 54R A7 R5, however, because we don't own any autofocusing primes for it, as I'm recording this, I might well pony up for the literally twice the price, one stop faster $1,300 Sony 51.4 G Master, because it is slightly sharper and it is better controlled for chromatic aberration to my eye and in my gut without pixel peeping than any other 50 I've played with in the Sony ecosystem at a weight I'm willing to schlep all day long, shooting my kind of images, street portraiture, yeah, usually wide open. But you know what I'm about to say. That's just me. Your mileage may vary. And as always, that's fine. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From custom domains to beautiful websites using their easily customizable templates that you can have up and running in minutes, e-commerce, email and email marketing, SEO, analytics, and scheduling, Squarespace does it all and has done it for us for the last 6 years. If you are a small to mid-sized business in any industry, Squarespace is the place to go for all of your website needs. Hop over to www.squarespace.com/Hugh for a free trial. And if you like what you see and want to move forward, receive 10% off your first order by using the discount code Hugh at checkout. Thanks, Squarespace. If you like what you've seen here today, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, join the conversation in the comment section below because this is an exceptional audience. If you'd like help with a portfolio review, gear selection, finding or honing your artistic voice, sign up for a one-on-one mentoring video call via Zoom at 3bmep.com/booking. Finally, please consider supporting our work by using the no-cost to you affiliate links down below, sending us coffee money via PayPal, or most especially, joining us on Patreon, links down below as well. However you choose to support us, as always, we thank you for it.